became part of the routine. Same passion, different mistakes. I learned to carry the weight. Show up early, work till late. Teeth clenched, head down, repeat. No applause when I bleed. I didn't bend, I didn't break. I just stayed for grit's own sake. Weakness was part of the process. Pain kept sharpening progress. Every setback left a mark. Quiet sparks inside the dark. Then without warning, without sign, something shifted deep inside. I feel power overwhelming. I feel power overwhelming. I feel power overwhelming. Power, power, power. Overwhelming, 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 overwhelming,
So if anyone's wondering what the hell this is, it's just me having a little bit of fun and putting all my balance wish list into a card format just for fun. And maybe later we'll be able to like create a little game with it, like be able to play around with it. And that. That's the thought behind this. Just for fun. Put in fun little cards. Put in some random Capcom logic. You never know what Capcom is thinking. So I put in some top line things that I wanted for each character, but I think to go further, I guess I need to kind of put a tier list together to figure out who deserves buffs and who deserves nerfs, and then maybe I'll have a better idea of what kind of things I want over here. So let's do that. I think let's put things into perspective. I say Marisa is right down here. It's like it's the most bare basic character you can get with almost no gimmicks. The gimmick she has is armor, but they've made armor so inconsistent that it's almost negligible. Like, why does pseudo low attacks break her armor? So that's why there's this I wish armor can only be bypassed by true low attacks. It makes no sense, right? Like, make her, she's an armor character, so you need to make her armor more consistent. I mean, that's what you did with Kimberly, right? Kimberly she's supposed to be your tricky mix-up character, a tricky rushdown, mental stack heavy character. A lot of stuff she does is fake, but mental stack heavy, and so they slowly buffed her up that she was able to do that more and more consistently, overwhelm you through mental stack, even though a lot of things she does is you can interrupt it. So that's what you should do for Marisa as well, right? You should double down on her archetype and make sure that if she's all about armor, make sure her armor is consistent. Right now, you've made it so that her armor is useless, right? All you have to do is tap a standing light kick and it's gone, right? A lot of characters in this game have standing light kicks which can hit her from a mile away, especially when her toe hurt box is so extended. So yeah, that's some of the things. Ryu, I'll say, is up here. He's massively overtuned. I won't say it's an unfair kind of character. A lot of things he does, but when you compare him to a lot of the other Shotos, like he can get away with shit, which which doesn't make sense. Solar Plexus has a lot of disguise startup. Yeah, hi my dude. Yeah, Ryu is cheap as AF, man. Like, think about it. His Solar Plexus is 20 frame startup, but Marisa's charge back heavy punch is also 20 frame startup. But his Solar Plexus moves him forward, has a disguise startups animation so that he's starting stance, he's in this position already, right? And then his Solar Plexus is just like that. So the first few frames you don't get to notice him moving for his Solar Plexus, so you have less frames to react to. Okay, then why does he get proximity guard for that? Yeah, and so it's like Marisa's charge back heavy punch, but it moves him forward and he gets proximity guard. Why does he get that? Also light Hashogeki. Like, light Hashogeki used to be in -4 on block. Bring that back, please, because it, like, so many characters don't get to just jab into a special move, right? Marisa, if she jab into Gladius, it's fake. You actually can interrupt her with like a light kick or something. So it's fake because there's a gap in between. So not a lot of characters have this privilege of being able to jab into frame trap. Oh, and when he frame traps you and you press a button, he counter hits, launches you. So what the hell is that? That's so cheap, right? And he's got nothing at risk because now it's -3 instead of -4. Please bring back -4 so that at least you can punish him for being cheap. He's got, there's no downside to doing this, right? He can just keep doing this, and then the moment you try to start perfect parrying it, then he can start throwing you. Yeah, it's so cheap. So, and I say all those together on its own is not enough to make him broken. Why he's broken is that he also hits like a truck. He does Marisa level damage, plus he's got like all the tools in the world. People say, yeah, tier list, and then balancing, right? We're gonna do tier list, then we're gonna do balancing based on the tier list. So this is, so S is deserves massive nerfs, right? Deserves massive buffs. Who is this Eggy Manny? Is he gonna try to sell me art? Yeah. Don't stop buffing them, please, Capcom. Can have slight buffs. Yeah. Um, you have to buff her in a smart way. You have to buff her in a way that leans into her archetype without making her a Ryu, right? That's the mistake they did with Ryu, is they just gave him everything, and he has massive damage. Yeah, I see what you're afraid of, because you're afraid that Capcom will create another Ryu. So yeah, you have to be smart about the way you buff Marisa. It's true. You can, because then you just create the same mistake over again, like this guy. Okay, and which is another issue with Jamie. I think Jamie is pretty. He has on paper he's Mr. Potential, right? He has everything that you want. He's got a ODDP. He's got a low forward drive rush. He's got a dive kick. He's got everything you want except a fireball. He's got a neutral skip with palm, but somehow he's not winning, right? So he's someone you can easily overtune just by giving him the wrong buff. Yeah, Lily needs a redesign. Her archetype is so weird. It's just all about getting the wind stocks, and then going in and then using plus frames, then back off, get wind stocks, go back in, plus frames. Yeah, it's just so like, it's like brain dead. It's like Honda, but even more brain dead than Honda, right? At least Honda, there's still hope on adding some layers, because there's still some ways to play him normally. But I don't know about Lily. I mean, they're quite similar, right? The Honda is like headbutt to go in, Lily goes condor win to go in, but Lily gets to make it plus. They both have a command grab. Yeah, they're very similar in some ways. So you don't. But I think Honda has slightly more potential to be made an interesting character. It's hard. It's going to be very hard. So yeah, he needs a. So I say Honda also needs a redesign, not as massive as Lily, but he needs a redesign in some ways to make him an interesting character and not just a scrub killer, right? Right now he's just the character you pick up to beat your friend to beat your friend on day one, right? Without learning the game. You just hit butt all the way and you piss your friend off. He's that character. Gal is here, right? He's strong. He's good. The only people complaining about him is people at the top tier, but all the way up, I think he's pretty damn strong. Dalsim, I don't know. His strength is, people say, is around this C tier, but does he deserve massive buffs? I don't think so. I think he deserves slight buffs, because theoretically on paper you shouldn't be able to touch Dalsim if he plays perfectly, The problem is Dalsims can't play perfectly, right? No human can play perfectly, and that's why he gets in trouble and then he dies. So just buff him a little bit, and I think he'll be able to hold his own a bit more. So is it by giving him slightly more defensive shit or giving him more offensive things? I'm not sure. I think this can have slight buffs, people. This tier is dangerous, right? Because actually I think Kimberly needs to start having buffs. I think this tier is going to be full of Shoto lookalikes, like Chun-Li, like Luke, like Ken, right? They're all like overshadowed by the big Shotos, right? The big boys, Akuma and Ryu, and then all of them have an identity crisis. Like, why would you play Ken, Luke, or Chun-Li if you can play Akuma and Ryu? I mean, you say, oh, Chun-Li has fast walk speed. You know who has fast walk speed? Akuma has fast walk speed. And he has everything else. He has Demon Raid, Demon Flip, Dive Kick, Air Fireball, you name it. Right? Juri as well, right? Another Shoto-ish with a unique fireball. I'll say Terry's up there. Terry's a solid Shoto. Also another Shoto lookalike, but pretty good. No, so yeah, those guys would be tricky to buff, right? Because the way you buff them is you just compare them to Akuma and Ryu and then see where to go from there. Because every player is just like, oh, okay, it's just a whole pool of you're just looking who's the best out of that pool, and then everyone's just gonna switch. So it's just every time it's swapping places. So you don't want to count his massive buff. Okay, Dave, I'm gonna give you a chance later to tell me what massive buff you want for Gal. Okay, we are going to do a TCG buff cards for each character. So you gotta tell me what you want for Gal, right? Because I don't see, I'm biased and I'm not gonna give Gal anything. So you let me know. Zangief, does he deserve massive buffs? Does he? What will you buff? Move speed? Blanca, I think enough said, right? He got some changes, and let's leave it at that, right? If Menardi feels he's good enough, he's good enough. A lot of people say DJ is top tier. I mean, like good, like A rank, but I don't see anything amazing coming out of DJ. Maybe he can have a slight change here and there. The Thunderstorm, I think that's a meme move. I don't think you're meant to use it. I think it's just for the laughs, right? Manon. Yeah? What? Come on. Alright, I've been on YouTube and I've been watching these people, they're cooking with Terry, man. Okay? They're cooking with Terry. I watch them playing these tournaments, these small tournaments, and yeah, Terry does well. Alright? He's like, he only doesn't look good because you're comparing him to Ryu and Kuma. Tell me what Tell me, who does Terry lose to? Seriously, who does Terry really lose to? Where's broken? Oh, it's just this with Terry. No. Yeah, yeah. She is up here. Really, the only thing broken about Mai is, right. Firstly, everything she has is great. Her DP is great. Her normals are great. Her move speed is great. But on top of that, actually the main thing which makes her great is just the fans, right? So you got to figure out what to do with the fans. About Gao and Sagat, you mean Sagat is next to Gao? Oh, nerfs. You want to nerf Gao, but Dave, you said you want to buff Gao. Dave is in the YouTube chat. All right, Gao and Sagat win against Terry. Huh. I thought I saw an interesting interaction. Is like Terry gets to do the low fireball against Sagat's high fireball. And I think that's an interesting interaction. Might want to relook into it. Maybe Terry can beat Sagat if you use that interaction somehow. But yeah, I think Sagat is A tier. I think please stop buffing Sagat. Everyone has invested stocks in Sagat. Everyone and their mom is learning Sagat. Don't buff him. Right? You end up with another Ryu, a very long-limbed Ryu, a Ryu who can hit from half a screen away. You don't want that. Okay. Yeah. But I think who's S tier is this idiot, this JP, who can guarantee you, who has a guaranteed damage. I'll say his level 2 is even worse than Rashid's level 2. Like, as in even more broken than Rashid's level 2. Like, Rashid at most he's gonna throw you. Right? If you just take the throw. This guy, JP, right? He sees you at 30% health. Alright, he goes into level 2. Good luck blocking that shit. And then game. Like, how gets a free mix? You had to block 4-5 reads in a row, whether a high-low mix-up in a row. You know, what's the percentage of that? 0.5 times 0.5 times 0.5. Let's bring out a calculator. 0.5 and 0.5 and 0.5 times 0.5. You got a 6.2% chance of blocking the whole combinations. Right? So he's got if you reach lethal health range and he's got level 2 and he goes and gap closes, he's got a 93% chance of closing out the round just because he has level 2. It's broken as hell. Not to mention the nonsense he does at when with his departure nonsense, right? Oh, he can just put departure out of nowhere, right? And if you're too far away, you can't get on him. Especially if you have a very slow drive rush, you can't really reach JP in time to interrupt him putting up departure. You have to do it on a read. If you have a very slow drive rush, like Marisa. If you have a fast drive rush, I think there is more counterplay. Level 3 full screen, yeah, crazy. Oh, and yeah, then you think, okay, once I close the gap, I'm gonna have an advantage against JP. Well, guess what? His cane normals are so broken that they can beat you from so far away, and their hurt box is so small. Yeah, you can't punish him properly. It's so hard to punish him. Have you tried punishing his cane moves? it's so hard to outspace, and then once you outspace it, it's so hard to whiff punish it. Yeah, it's everything about him is just broken. Okay, but yeah, the first thing I want to get rid of is his level 2. Gal sucks. Dave, you're downplaying Gal way too much. I'll say Gal is below Sagat though. I'll say Gal is above Kimberly, right? Yeah, this guy. Now, if you ask a Japanese player, they'll probably put Ed here in massive nerfs. But yeah, only 2 moves for Gal. I think a lot of characters also only have 2 moves, right? Marisa only has Gladius in normal. What else is she going to press in besides Gladius? Zangief doesn't have any moves. SPD. Ed. 2 things I hate about Ed as a Marisa player. One is how he can just neutral jump in the air and then just fish for hits by neutral jump and press his medium punch. And then if he somehow hits you, he gets to convert into a full combo. Do y'all know what I'm talking about? He just jumps in the air like half a screen away and he just hits the air as he's coming down and he's just hoping he connects with you. And if he connects with you, he gets a full combo. That's stupid. Because what kind of interaction is that? Second is, why is the cycle flicker punish counter? Why does it crumple you from half the screen away? Right? So you need to nerf that shit. Because he's gonna stand full screen and just fish for hits, and somehow because he's not even he doesn't have to think too much, right? He's just fishing. You just put out hits without thinking, and if he hits something, he doesn't have to hit confirm. It's so easy for him to just follow up with a combo the moment he connects, right? There's no skill involved. It's too easy to fish for the hits. Yeah, it's brain dead, right? If you said like, oh, okay, I have to single hit confirm, so I have to use a bit of skill. I have to look at the animation. Oh, okay, I hit, so I have to hit confirm, and I have that small window to convert it into a combo. Okay, fine, I'll give him that. No, he just fish for hits, and anyone and their mother can convert it into a combo. That is too easy. Cammy is, I don't know why they nerfed Cammy the last round, but I don't think she deserved the nerf. So I would like to see them give her something back. Alright. Rashid has, everyone was complaining about Rashid, but I think he's fallen off a bit. So I don't think he's as broken as people think he is. But I think you shouldn't buff him anymore. You just leave him alone. Aki, I'm on the fence. Like, I think she's a strong character, but again, she hasn't seen much success, and only one person seems to be playing her, like Broski. So I think she can have some buffs, right? Bison. Oh, you mean Give can beat Rashid? I'm not sure what I'm not sure what specifically about Give beats Rashid though. Bison is Bison is annoying. Like his scissor kick is brain dead. He's even more brain dead than Honda's headbutt. So I not just stop buffing him, but he deserves to be nerfed a little bit, at least for the scissor kick. Like you like every other move, like Terry's burn knuckle, Sagat's tiger knee. All these need to be spaced properly, so that they don't get punished, right? Not with scissor kick. Scissor kick, you just press it. You don't need a thing. You're pretty much safe. You have to be a total idiot to misspace scissor kick that you can get punished for it. I think it needs to be nerfed in a way that you need to try a bit harder to space it well. Yeah, Devil's Reverse, I think you can still say there's some counterplay there because it's slow and so on. So you can add to air him and things like that, you know. Devil's Reverse, I don't think it's as bad as Akuma's Team Red. Yeah. I think she is a good character. She has definitely A tier potential. She just needs a bit of she's very good at footsies. So should you stop buffing Elena? She just needs a bit more zing, a bit more flair to make her interesting. Same with Sea Viper. Sea Viper right now I feel is very underwhelming. I don't know whether she's here. Sea Viper has, like, why would you play Sea Viper? Like, I don't like what is so unique. Like, she has a lot of strange and unique moves and cancelling and all that, but what is, at the end of the day, what does it achieve? Other characters can just go in low forward drive rush and get the job done, but she just goes about a roundabout way of doing fancy things just to get the same thing done. So I don't know, maybe Sea Viper is in this category because I don't see a point to Sea Viper, or maybe needs a redesign. Okay, do you think she's good? I don't think has anyone. Yeah, like she's got damage, but I mean, so does anyone else in this group, right? Zangief, Marisa, Sea Viper. So yeah, that's my thoughts. I mean, that's my personal take. I think I don't know what you guys think. Does it look about right? I haven't ordered it, but I'd say Ryu is the least annoying. Ryu, he's up here. I say I'm fine with Ryu keeping his toolkit if you bring down his damage, right? I think, like, a lot of people complain, they say that damage balancing is lazy. I don't think so. I think damage balancing is an integral part of balancing. Like, you can have a highly technical character, like have all sorts of tools, but then you say, oh, it's unfair, he can't have all these sorts of tools. But actually, no, you're saying, okay, he's a technical character, he deserves to have a lot of tools. How we balance him is we give him very low damage. You know who's like that? That's Dalsim, right? Very has a lot of moves, has a lot of unique gimmicks, is pretty much can seem unfair at times, but how is he balanced? By having low damage. So Ryu right now is like he's got so many tools. Maybe you need to balance him by reducing his damage. Yeah. So like I would allow him to keep his tool set. I'll be happy for him to keep his tool set if you bring down his damage by about 15 to 20%. Like he needs to 4 touch you instead of 2 touch you. Viper is good. Okay, then she can have slight buffs. Yes, I think Viper got third place in our Rise Up tournament recently, I think. So am I gonna be biased and put her here instead of here? She also needs a bit of flair, right? Like what is gonna make her a reason to pick her up? Yeah, Hashogeki needs Light Hashogeki needs to stop launching you on counter hit. What why does he get such a unique thing? Like he launches you on counter hit so that he doesn't even have to properly hit confirm. It's just, oh, I've launched him, now I just go get my free combo. Same problem add on, but this one is on Hashogeki. This one is on his jumping. He's jumping MP or MK. Right, come down, get free combo. Right, just because you were walking forward, he got lucky, he hit you, and he didn't need to confirm anything. He gets a combo. My brain dead. Akuma, yeah. These still need a bit more brains, but they're still unfair. So yeah. So that's my thoughts on the tier list. That's why I put together my wish list. We can debate this as we go along. But yeah, I wish this is my wish list to Capcom. Capcom, please give Gladius a vertical hitbox extended upwards for Gladius. I'm tired of people neutral jumping over here, you know, and not getting hit by my Gladius. Or they just jumping in, and I think the Gladius is gonna hit them, but no, the jump in hits me. Marisa too good. Alright, Dave, stop it. You're downplaying Gal, and you're upplaying every other character. Also, the same thing. Not only does Gladius lose to lows, he loses to pseudo lows. People like I think Luke can crouching medium punch and beat her Gladius. A few other characters can do stupid things and beat her Gladius. Why? And then it's not just lows, it's pseudo lows. And it's not just pseudo lows, it's overheads. Akuma will go do overhead, Terry will do an overhead. Ryu would come and do an overhead, and you will beat Gladius because he touches her toes. Exactly. And that's, yeah, anti-air Gladius loses so much, and that's what I want the vertical hitbox extender upwards to do. Okay, so, and also this one, she's an armor character, but her only consistent armor is the Scutum armor. Her Gladius armor is so inconsistent. So without her consistent armor, she's just a big slow character, slow moves, slow normals. She has no gimmick. She has slow drive rush. She's basically your most basic template of a character, stripped down without any other gimmicks. She's got no fireball, she got no DP. It's just the most basic of template of what a Street Fighter character is. No low forward drive rush, you know, just take away everything. And yeah, because she barely has armor, so what does she have? Is your most basic character. This is a new TCG, and yes, it's called it's a buff and nerf TCG. We're gonna create a card game and predict what Capcom is gonna buff. We need to nerf IMBA's Marisa. How you gonna nerf the player? I don't think this is enough, but maybe it's a start. Like have all versions of a fan, whether it's charged, light, medium, or heavy, have +2 startup and +2 recovery. Because I want to be able to jump, like a lot of times I preemptively jump at her, and she still recovers in time to anti-air me. Like, which is it makes it feel like you're jumping at Gal. Maybe just make it more easy to jump in at her, and that can be the weakness of fan, perhaps. So she's afraid to throw the fan sometimes because there's a high chance of you jumping in and kicking her in the face. Maybe that's one way you balance fan. Like you play around with these numbers. Yeah, like her standing HP is so good. 9 frames goes so far. Maybe you can make that slower. But I find actually a lot of her other moves are pretty good. And there's no reason, but I won't say it's unfair. And actually, maybe by toning down the fan, her other moves get a chance to shine. So I'm just focusing on the fan, but not completely getting rid of it, because if you completely get rid of it, no one will play Mai. There's nothing special about Mai if you get rid of a fan totally. Hashogeki. Please bring. It used to be this. It used to be -4 on block. I don't know why they made it -3. If it's going to counter hit launch you, please make it punishable, because the risk reward ratio is there's no risk, all reward. Currently, that's the risk reward ratio. That's what's making Ryu so good. The light Hashogeki. His jab pressure. Most people's jab pressure is jab and neutral reset. That's it. Or jab light kick, and then neutral reset. You know, that's what Ken doesn't get this. So why does Ryu get special treatment? A lot of characters don't get this, but it's not that he gets the pressure. He gets so it's such an easy reward, right? Jab, light Hashogeki. Oh, you press the button, you're flying in the air. I get a combo, and I don't even have to. It's so easy to hit confirm. It's not a hard hit confirm. I just drive rush in and complete the combo. Yeah. It's not only is it safe on block, it has such a great reward on counter hit. You go flying, and then he completes a combo. It's stupid. And on top of that, on top of all this broken shit, he still hits like a truck. I think this should be 15%. Why Marisa can have 2 hit armor? Gal says she. Yeah, like Hasho should be -4 on block, then his burnout pressure should be 0, right? I don't know, is 15% too much? Maybe 10% is a start. 15% if you do nothing else, right? 10% if you implement other nerfs. I say just give him 15%. It's too good right now. Add. Stop getting free. Stop. He's literally playing fishing with his stupid purple fishing line. He just puts it out. Oh, you're crumpled. All right, let me go in. No, what's the risk? Really, what's the risk? Someone randomly perfect parries it and drive rushes in. That's not much of a risk. It's not consistent. What can you really counter at that range? There's not much of a hurt box as well, like from that range. The real risk is just the real risk is you just people jumping in at you, but that's not even a risk, right? Because you can just play you can just play the mind games with that, and it's in your favor. So I think that's already good enough. You should not get an easy combo, an easy brain dead combo. Demon rate, I don't know whether you guys have experienced it, but have you ever tried checking this demon rate with a jab? It's impossible. It's impossible to check it. Like somehow it beats everything. The hitbox and hurtbox, the way it's positioned, is too good. So he needs a larger extended hurtbox below his feet so that you can jab him out of the air, like you can do against Cammy and some of the other dive kicks. I think Ed deserves one more, but we'll get to that later, which is his air jumping. Do I have that? Okay, we need to create one for Ed later. Alright, where is it? Let me check. Is it jumping MK or jumping MP? Yeah. Yeah, jumping MK, right? So I don't know how you're gonna balance this because this is a bit more complex. Yeah, but the demon rate, you should be able to check this Akuma demon rate. You need to change the hurt box so that it's more fair. Right now it's not fair. Let's see. This blade kick. Yeah, it's tiny. It might look like there's a sizable hurt box here, but it's tiny for a dive kick. Like oftentimes you just lose if it's this small. It needs to be way bigger. And Bison, come on, what's it this scissor kick pushback? They last season they said, oh, we nerfed his we reduced the pushback, but we've increased the pushback. Like there was a very weird patch note where net it ended up you still couldn't punish him, and he still didn't need to think about it. I think this needs a bit 15%. Please think of, you need to force M Bisons to use their brain a bit more. Like, I'm not saying completely remove the ability to create spacing traps with this. I'm just saying make it so that he needs to think a bit more about his positioning. The same way Cammy needs to think about her dive kick. The same way Terry needs to think about his burn knuckle. Same way Sagat needs to think about his tiger knee. M. Bison needs to think about his knee press a little bit more. Alright, maybe 10%. I think that's enough. Let me see if I can find your. Then I find an image of Jump MK. This broken ass thing, right? Yeah, it's so stupid. And what? Okay, the counterplay is okay. You anti-air, and you beat and you punch this thing, and then he flies backwards a bit, and you take Oki. There's nothing compared to him just landing a stray hit on you as you're moving slightly for. You're just walking forward. He hits your face, and then he gets a easy combo. He doesn't even need a. He's an easy hit confirm. All right, make it harder for him to convert it into a combo. Don't make it so brain dead easy. I don't know how though. How are you supposed to balance this if you think about it mechanically? Because the way jumping attacks work in game is a bit different from grounded moves. Like maybe he gets put into a punish counter state, or a force knockdown state if you knock him out of the air from this. Because you look at, let's look at the frame data. Okay, so here, usually when you enter air is when you can knock him out of the air like that. Here he's already touched your. Yeah, how you gonna? Oh, hi Carmen. Hi Dan. Like, how are you gonna love this? Jumping like kick is pretty good as well, right? If you're slightly in front. Yeah. So either it does not convert into, this is very hard to balance around, so maybe it's Always force knockdown. Right? The box is always force knockdown when anti. Maybe that's one way of doing it. Why am I reducing my damage is, as I said earlier, I think damage reduction is actually a good way of balancing characters which have they're overtuned in utility, but you still want to keep their utility. Let's say if she's known for being the fan character and you want to keep the fan, then you can let her keep the fan, but you reduce her damage. I think that's, again, I don't believe in the argument that damage nerfs, buffs and nerfs are not important. I think they are hugely important, right? Because it affects the game theory, it affects the risk reward scenarios. I didn't read this one earlier, right? Make me press charge like the oldest while they're at editor. Yeah, but I don't think Capcom will do those things because Capcom is systematically removing charge as an input. Maybe they're keeping it for certain characters, like Gal, but they're systematically removing it from a lot of other characters. Again, back to damage nerfs and damage balancing. Because if you want to keep Ryu's utility, having Solar Plexus, having Hashogeki, having Donkey Kick, so much utility, please at least nerf the damage. Please do something about it. Luke is... Yeah, charge erasure is real. Yep. But, I've never played a charge character, so I'm biased. I don't feel anything. Okay, I'm actually happy Alex is not a charge character because I don't like having to think about am I having charge or not. Same with Luke, right? You like why do you have to practice the perfect knuckle? Only to you have to practice. There's he plays like a Shoto, but you have to practice another element of having a perfect knuckle, all to end up with less damage than Ryu. I think they overnerfed Luke after season 1 because they saw Luke had the dive punch hitbox, and he had so many things going for him that they overnerfed him. I think they overnerfed him. They added the damage nerfs, the damage scaling nerfs, and I think they need to give him back some of his damage. Because right now, why would you play Luke? No one plays Luke now. No one plays Luke, no one plays Ken. I think crouching MP is still good. But I'm not sure what they changed. Did they change the hurt box around it and hitbox around it? Because the plus is still +1. If he needed a charge for it. I guess another way to do it without having him charge for it is to increase the startup frames. Increase startup frames for Bison. Right now is a lot of times they use the light version and the medium version. It's pretty fast, 16 frames. It's barely reactable, 13 frames unreactable with the human reaction. If you made it slightly around slower, you could theoretically perfect parry it. Right now, there's a lot of preemptive jumping and preemptive backdashing to make him try and whiff this. But for me, I personally just think just make it harder for him to space it. Yeah, I mean, the same, it drives me insane. That's why I want this change. Armor can only be bypassed by true low attacks. I don't want overheads or double knee press or weird things breaking my armor. Even when I use a OD, especially when I use an OD Gladius, I get 2 hits of armor, but it's still broken by this because it goes through it. It hits the toe, not because it breaks the armor, but it hits the toe and then she get. It's so stupid. This one, I think, is not important. I just thought it'd be fun. Is right now I feel that there's no reason to use a charge 2 HP other than in combos, and this is just a fun way to make it useful. You know, when people like to neutral jump to shimmy you with a throw attempt, wouldn't it be fun if I just charge a 2 HP and keep and knock them high into the air for a combo? But to do that, you would need full aerial invulnerability while charging. So the moment you start the charging animation, then you get aerial invulnerability and you knock them just as they're coming down. So yeah, just to make something more useful, and then you can drive rush and charge 2 HP against someone jumping back in the air. Marisa's low forward, I've consistently complained about this, is why is it 9 frames, not move me forward, and it's only +3. So please do. So this is my thought. If it's going to stay the same, at least do this. Or another way is moves character forward. Is alright. 2MK becomes an advancing normal and moves character forward. So what I mean by this is it becomes more like JP's 2MK, where JP's 2MK is annoying and he keeps poking your legs. Or yeah, make it something like that. So it's either this or this. But this one you would have to create new animations for it, so I don't think Capcom will do that. So no. So probably just play with the. So make it faster by 2 frames, has 2 more active frames. This would be nice for those lab monsters. You can set up meaty scenarios where you get more plus frames with the 2MK. JP, I really wish he needs his hurt box to be extended even further. Especially during standing HP or standing MP. Right now he's getting away with murder. He's just swinging that thing, and it surprisingly is very hard to get JP to whiff his cane, right? Because of it, just the sheer range of it is very hard for you to get him to whiff, and even when you get him to whiff, it's very hard to punish. So you need to extend the hurt box during the startup and recovery so that you have the option of preemptively stopping his attack, as well as being able to punish counter him more effectively. Yeah, what character were you using to try and whiff punish him? Can, right? Like you I guess then the you can use the HK target combo. Yeah. Yeah, 5 HK. Oh, you don't need a target combo, right? On punish counter, then you can. Like 5 HP, I don't think 5 HP would reach. And your sweep also wouldn't reach, right? Because he extends a hurt box, upper body hurt box, I think, but not a lower body hurt box. Yeah, let's look at it. JP. Yeah, like sweep. I guess you could sweep him, but it's not a really nice. This one. Yeah, right. All the way up to the swing. Nothing, nothing, nothing. Okay, now it comes out. So if you are preemptively trying to hit him, let's say you're moving forward and saying, I'm going to do a fast forward advancing attack to beat you here, then but he's got no hurt box here. So you whiff, and then he smacks you in the face. Then you say, okay, fine, I'm going to get him to whiff. So somehow you get you do the impossible and you get him to whiff. And you have this very brief moment. Alright, and then yeah, here. So this needs to be maybe just slightly a bit more, I think. Not extremely more. Medium punch as well, same issue, right? They extended here a bit, but that's it. Because the issue is you have to be so far away to you have to be so far out of range to avoid this. You have to be all the way back here. So to make sure whatever it is here. Oh, hi. Hi, Deep in Blue. Thanks for the raid. Blue box raid. What's that? Hi, guys. Hi, everyone. Thanks for the follows. Hi. Hi, VPP. Oh, thanks. Yeah, we're just talking about catch you all up. We're just doing a little fun wish list for buffs and nerfs for the next season. And we're just going on a rant about JP. How we were at a competition once and you beat my Aki coach once with wake up level 2 a lot. Which competition? Was it a live competition? I see fighters, yeah. That's a very good tournament. He was using Aki. Yeah, I think I remember. I think I just have a lot of experience with Aki because we have an Aki player in Malaysia as well, and he's pretty good as well. Oh, CPT. I don't think I played. I didn't join any CPT events, so not sure. Yeah, JP needs to get his he needs to get beaten up, right? So yeah, extend his hurt box, please. We need to nerf him even further. But we'll get into that. Honda, this is a hot take. All right, this is yeah, JP slander. We already covered how his level 2 is the most broken ass thing ever, because I calculated for you to block 4 times a 50-50 mix up 4 times in a row, you will need, yeah, it's a 93% chance that he will hit you. You have a 7% chance of getting away unscathed. So the moment you have 30% HP left, he just needs to turn on level 2. He's got 93% chance of closing out the round. That's bullshit. That's so bullshit. I mean, even Rashid doesn't get that. No, I don't think it's a hot take anymore. Like, his level 2 combined with his bullshit normals at mid range, his bullshit 5 HP, bullshit 5 MP, combined with his bullshit zoning with departure. Yeah. Hey, thanks for the raid again, man. JP is fair and balanced character, and he's a player's character. It makes him feel broken. No, I don't dispute that you get to be very creative with JP, and I'm pretty sure that you need a lot of skill and you need a lot of knowledge to play JP. I'm not taking that away from you. He's still a bullshit character, okay? He's still broken. You can have a high skill ceiling for a character and still have it be broken. Okay. So yes, you might be a very creative and very well skilled and knowledgeable player, and you can still be using a broken character. It's not mutually exclusive. Yeah. I think maybe a high skill character who is not broken yet is Dalsim, right? That'll be an example of a high skill character who's not broken yet. This is my personal tier list, by the way. Feel free to disagree on some of them. Downplay your main, upplay your character. Mm. 5 HK, yeah. Everything about JP is broken. Stop buffing Terry is a wild take. No, come on. All right, tell me what is Terry lacking? Who does Terry really lose to? That he needs some kind of big buff to get him going. I think it's pretty near the top already. I think my personal preference for buffing is, as long as you bring these 5 guys down to this level, I think that's the sweet spot. This level is the sweet spot. Terry, Sagat, Gal, Kimberly, Blanca, Rashid, Bison. This power level, I think, is the sweet spot. Right? I like if you ended up buffing them, it's just swapping broken characters for different broken characters, and everyone's just taking their turn at being broken. I think, but for me, this is, by the way, for me, this is A tier, and A tier is the sweet spot. S tier is, no one needs to be in S tier. Ryu needs his damage brought down. He has way too many tools. He's way too many tools for someone who hits like Marisa. For someone who hits like a truck, he has way too many tools. So either make him hit less like a truck, like make him hit like some kind of wagon, like a broken down wagon, and then I'll allow him to keep his tools. Yeah, I think my suggestion for the main suggestion was bring down a bit of the damage so that you can afford to get hit by her fans a bit more. And also, her fans need to have more startup and recovery frames so that I can actually jump at her. A lot of times I preemptively jump at her on the correct time. She still manages to anti-air me. I just need it to be slightly slower so that I can jump at her. I don't want to feel like I'm jumping at Gao when I'm fighting Mai. Crayon time. Hey, no problem. Continue looking, my man. Yeah, I hope to see you at tournaments too. Which tournaments do you join? Malaysian tournament? Or like online tournaments. But yeah, you bump into each other again. But I have to remember, do you use the same nickname, Deep in Blue? Yes, Ryu needs consequences on his tools, like -4 on block. Please revert this to -4. Why did you give him -3? Please revert to -4. And please no longer launch on counter hit. Oh, you mean general nerfs to stronger heavy punches? What kind of heavy punches do you hate? I hate the Shoto heavy punch, where they just stand in place and then they just punch like that, kind of like Mai's heavy punch. Ryu has the same heavy punch. Akuma has the same heavy punch. Ken has the same heavy punch. Luke doesn't have it. Luke moves himself forwards and gets blown the fuck up if he does it. Yeah, but those heavy punches are so good, especially in the corner. Dave, someone wants to nerf your Gal's 4 HP. No, I mean, if they take away Gal's 4 HP, then I think Gal is in a good spot. But if you want to nerf him, I would say you have to buff him as well. I would say the justification for doing that is trying to make him more not so one-dimensional, have more. But I think he's good enough as it is, unless you're trying to get creative and give him more tools and make him a more all-rounder character instead of a pure zoner. Yeah. Just scrolling through some of the things that we talked about earlier. Cycle Flicker no longer crumbles. Like, I compare Ed to a fisherman who just fishes from very far away with Cycle Flicker for free. Oh, it missed. Never mind. No one can punish me. No one can counter me from so far away. If it hits, oh, I don't even need mental load to see that you've crumpled and for me to go in and get a free combo. And he does the same thing by jumping in the air and doing jumping MK. And he just catches you walking forward and gets a free combo. Same brain dead techniques. Right? So, yeah. His normals. Yeah, I mean, between his normals and this thing, I was more annoyed at this thing. So, but yeah, I mean, you could justify nerfing his normals instead. But nerfing both would be overkill, I think. So pick one. Yeah, jump MK, right? This just feels unearned. Every time he just does this in neutral or in the corner, it just feels unearned, right? It just doesn't feel good to get hit by this. You won't go like, oh, nice play. I got outplayed, man. You know, sometimes you can appreciate a good play. This one, you never go good thing, man. Good play. You never go that way. You're not downplaying the changes I made for JV. It's a hitbox update for Crush MP and Stand HP since it gives too much advantage without much risk, and so maybe changing it so JP can't immediately level 2 off OD goes. Yeah, because I think it was one of the changes at certain patch notes which allowed him to level 2 off of OD goes and some normals, right? You can just you can just put them in the block stun and then level 2. I think that's just tremendously broken. So my solution to that was a dramatic increase in damage scaling for each ghost that connects. So the like first ghost will be like first ghost 10%, right? Second, it goes like 20, then 30, then 40, right? It just gets increasingly very quickly. So if it starts the combo with the fourth one, it's just like you that is heavily scaled. So you can still clutch out rounds, but but you have to be more calculative about how you use it. And maybe you use it just to swing momentum, but not really use it for kill, not for lethal, but use it to swing momentum. That's another way to use it. Yeah. Like right now, the way like when I fight JPs in rank, it just feels like first they run the zoning gauntlet with departure, then you get close and then you have to deal with the cane normals, the unfair cane normals. And he has the same thing as Ed, right? He's the jumping cane. Then if you get a bit too far trying to whiff punish him, then he goes back to zoning. Then when you're in lethal range, and it's so easy that JP can burn you out. That's another thing. Then when you get in lethal range, he finishes you off with a super art too. And it just repeats. Every JP game is the same. Sure, the combos they use is slightly different, but against Marisa, that's technically the go-to strategy they use. Yeah, I think Kim is in a good spot, right? Kuro Mori. You always punish Ed for trying jump and K, but everyone else has to suck. Yeah. I see. So how would you balance out his thing without reverting? Right. So it's a tricky thing, right? Because I think you can revert it to the state it was before, where it's much harder to block stun, into Super Art 2. Or so maybe you say harder to through block string into say 2, right? So it's basically reverting it to the state it was before. That's another way to do it. Right? So yeah. Would this be better? Right? Just reverting it. Here's a hot take. E Honda. Everyone's saying E Honda is just a scrub killer. There's nothing unique about him. So let's give him the most broken thing about of the meta, right? Which is low forward drive rush. Let's make him a low forward drive rush character. Low forward drive rush into command grab mix up. What are you gonna check? Yeah, low Nightmare Fuel Honda. I think it's manageable, right? I mean, come on, think about it. He's all the way down here. I think at most he will fly up here. I don't think, even with low forward drive rush, I don't think he makes it up here. Okay, let's think about it. Do you think low forward drive rush Honda can make it up here? I don't think so. I think he makes it here. Maybe he beats some of these guys. I don't know what to do with Lily, so I'm not going to think about it. She needs a complete redesign. Yeah, I mean, at 1800, he just becomes, he just has to mix you up with his command grab every now and then to open you up and get his damage that way, which is super risky for him, right? So I think he suffers a lot of the issues of, like, they gave him a good standing MP, but that's about it. I think 1800 is where you start to see pro 1800 plus is where you start to consider tournament viability, right? So I think it's good. So below 1800 is, can the casual people have fun and have it balanced? But 1800 plus is like, is it tournament viable? Right now he's not tournament viable at all, right? Yeah, but you know, if you talk about tournament viable, you need to look at Ultimate Master. And I've complained before. I've joked that Hondas all have a hive mind because they all play the exact same psychotic way. But now that I think about it, is it because they have a hive mind, or because there is no other way to play Honda? Because there's just not enough tools given to him to play a different way. Yeah, but then again, right? Win rates will, how to say, you will always land at every player lands at the MR where their win rate is very close to 50% or 49% or 51%. That's just the way the MR system works. That's the way how any good ranking system works, is you will always end up with a ranking win percentage of very close to 50%, unless you're a legend rank or pro level player where your win rate is a bit skewed. So majority of people are going to have 49% win rates regardless of how good or bad their character is. Maybe some people are carrying their character. You know, some people are just so good with Honda. Maybe this guy is just a genius with Honda. But it doesn't mean that that character is good just because he has a 49% win rate. It just means that that one last player who die hard, does not want to give up on Honda, is just taking it to the next level and outplaying everyone, and he's maintaining that 49% win rate. Because every other Honda who is unable to maintain that has dropped to 1600, and they are maintaining a 49% win rate there at 1600. Do you get what I mean? I think that's how the maths works out, is that if you can't maintain a 49% win rate at 1800, you get dropped to 1600 and maintain a 49% win rate there at 1600. And then the Honda at 1800 is just that one or two last Hondas who are just carrying the character. Freezers might be the only Honda playing a very unique playstyle. Yeah. Like trying to play footsies with him? I'm not sure. I've never really watched him. Stop buffing session Saga actually needs to be tweaked a bit with his stand MP frame data. What's so like nerf stand MP or buff stand MP? Wait, which one is stand MP again? This one? Like, like this? Like when he does this 3 times in a row in a corner, is that what you're getting? And like you, hmm. Yeah, I guess at lower ranks, I just perfect parry this because I know that people are just autopiloting. They just do double stem elbow. They just do double elbow every time. So you perfect parry it, but then they can easily just throw bait you, right? But I think I don't know. I think this is what gives him is a very important tool for him. I think without this, he loses a lot in the close range. So this is tricky. If you get rid of this, you could really drop the character by a lot. +2, right? Start 4, +2. +1, yeah, you could argue +1. Like +2 crouching, +1 standing, something like that. Yeah, maybe Tagat can have slightly more pushback, right? Let's put it in. Right? Maybe you at most you get 2 and at the very most 3 if you got in through a very deep drive rush or something. All right. Uh landing MP. Beijing threat shenanigans, true. So then what will you give him? Messing the frame data? No. Something like that? Or reverse? Give the Jinrai treatment? I mean the Dragon Lash treatment. Right? So this one you it feels like you're using your brain a bit, like when you're like, oh, okay, do I stand? Let's try a Sagat picture. Is this the right photo? Let's use a generic photo. Yeah, but you're saying pushback can you can use it to your advantage as a spacing trap, right? So it's not always a good thing. Like bison spacing traps and stuff. So we talked about this. Hot take. This is me being biased. I want my drive rush speed increased by 15%. Not because I use it a lot, but because Marisa's Oki is so shit. Like like every time she does Gladius, you fly like half the screen away, and I can't get Oki. So if and then a lot of times, oh my god, this grinds my gears. As Marisa, a lot of people like to do like jab, and then backdash, or they'll do their block string and then they try to fish for a hit, and but you manage to block it out and then they backdash, and you call it out. You say this effer is going to backdash, so I'm gonna drive rush at him as soon as he stops his block string, and he's still too far away to get punished by you drive rushing at him. Like so many times, this guy he's jab, and he backdash, and I immediately drive rush at him with a heavy punch, and he is out of range, and I eat a combo. Yeah, proximity guard on 5 HP. Yeah, you give me proximity guard on some, or maybe some of my charge moves. You know the interesting thing? You know who has a proximity guard on a similar move? Like my charge back heavy punch is exactly 20 frames. You know who has a similar move? Ryu. Ryu has a charge back heavy punch which moves him forward and has proximity guard. Right? My charge back heavy punch is on the spot and he doesn't move me anywhere. So yeah, maybe my charge standing heavy punch can be proximity guard. Same with the charge sweep. No, I think you know what would be funny if we nerf Ryu's damage by 20% or 50, right? So he's doing all this fancy shit and he's not getting his bullshit damage. Yeah, let's actually yeah, he deserves to get 20%. Would you say it's fair? Would you say 20% is fair? 25% is a bit much, right? But yeah. As you 20%, right? It gives you 20% across the board. So we allow you to keep donkey kick, we allow you to keep all your broken nonsense, but you know what? We're gonna take away your damage. You're gonna hit like a little girl. How's that sound? Does that sound fair? I think that sounds fair. He's gonna hit. Yeah. You know what? I think to me personally, 25 sounds a bit too much. Yeah, he needs to hit like Kim, like pre-buff Kim, if he wants to keep all this nonsense. Yeah, no, because Kim is not safe at all, right? Everything she does is fake. There's a counterplay to everything she does. It's just that can you do it while she is is cancelable. Yeah, can you counter her with all the mental stack she's putting on you? Yeah, but there's other things I want to nerf from him as well. So I want to get rid of this. I want to get rid of this. So I'll give him back that 5% if you can give me. You can nerf Hashogeki a little bit. Uh, movement speed. I mean, look, if you're not going to make Marisa the armor character that she's meant to be, then at least give her a way of playing footsies, because that's the only way she's gonna get damage, right? I mean, this is not even gonna make her good, because even if you buff her walk speed by 15%, she's still like one of the slowest characters around. Compare Kim to Viper, where they actively play around mental second with minus strength that can also fringe. Yeah, I mean, that's the character archetype, and I think that's fine. But Marisa needs a walk speed increase if you're not gonna give her her armor gimmicks. Because if you're gonna make her armor gimmick so weak, you need to give her another way of getting damage. Because right now I find it impossible to make certain characters with in neutral. Like, it's impossible to get, especially if they have a very far range or a very good walk speed. And I can't, like example, I can't get Akuma to whiff a lot of his normals. I can't get JP to whiff a lot. It's very hard. Just because the movement speed. I sense a lot of Ryu hate as almost as much as the JP hate. Zangief, to be fair, I'm not a Zangief player. I don't know what the Zangief players want. Any Zangief mains here, or at least aware of Zangief? Like, what will you do to make him good? Yeah, yeah, the JP, not a JP down player. JP main. Since season 1, you know, sometimes I regret not picking up JP in season 1. I was thinking either JP or Marisa. I ended up with Marisa. Big difference. Right? So give hurt box reduced. Oh, yeah, I have an idea for Zangief actually. Let's skip ahead. What do you guys think about this? They buffed Marisa's Super Art 1. They should give Zangief something interesting. So Zangief's Super Art 1 is called Aerial Russian Slam. Maybe they should give him a grounded version instead of grounded Russian Slam, right? So at least he has a wake up reversal at level 1. Right? Like a wake up grounded reversal. It should work something like Manon's level 3, where if you're not already locked into some kind of recovery frames, you can actually jump or backdash out of it. Level 1 of OD Lariat, that might be good. But there's more for combos, right? This is my jab at Capcom. Capcom logic. Whatever we think, they might be thinking 2 steps ahead of us, so you never know what they're doing. Okay, so drive rush speed, walk speed. So give Zangief a bit more walk speed. Same issue with Marisa. He's just way too slow. He walks slower than Marisa. Yeah, I don't know. So another version is, so what? Will 8 frame startup make it combo easier? Combo more easily? Or you're saying this version, the grounded version? Now this is my thought. Jamie had, I mean, we've all done it as teenagers. I'll say Jamie is smart enough to pre-drink before the party, you know what I mean? I mean, who doesn't pre-drink before a party? Let me just skip this. So yeah. So I think level 0 Jamie, let's just skip that and just give him the dive kick straight away. But you don't give him the power scaling yet, right? You keep it at 90%. And I think that solves a lot of issues of Jamie. Right? Just being able to get to his other moves just one round faster makes all the difference. I think we can move some things around. Maybe if you feel it's unfair that he gets his Rekka too fast, you can put one more round of power scaling in between, so that Rekka is still at level 4. You still need to drink 4 times, right? It's alright. He should just have the dive kick at level 0. Then what are you gonna give him at level 1? Alright, let's workshop this, alright? Jamie starts with dive kick at level 0. Then what does he get at level 1? By LP 100 combo unlocked at level 1. Does that help? Do you think that's enough? I think mm, I think as a Jamie player, what you really want to unlock is his command grab that's drink level 3. Because then you unlock the mind games, and then the Rekka at 4 just makes him OP. Um, I honestly think is I want him to get to the command grab and the Rekka faster, And then in the future, if he becomes too overpowered, then I would just nerf some of those things. You know what I mean? I'll nerf the Rekka and I'll nerf the Command Grab somehow. But I want him to be able to unlock his full potential a bit faster. I mean, he's again as a Marisa player, I'm a bit a bit biased though, because a lot of times Jamie can just backdash and then drink, and Marisa can't do anything about it. So I often see Jamie at drink level 4, drink level 3, drink level 4. So I don't have a very good sense of how well he does against other characters. I think other characters can walk him down a bit more, smother him so that he can't get his drinks. But as a Marisa player, I always see him always getting to drink 3 and 4, and then it's very hard to deal with. So I think this pre-drink will help him manage the characters who can walk him down. Right, railgun fireballs, long range slides, or people who just continue getting in his face, right? That throwing her sticks, that sounds like some KOF stuff. King of Fighter mechanics coming in because of run slide. Then Jin Hado Gao because of perfect boom and OD boom. Right, yeah, because you have to keep avoiding the booms. So we got a Lily idea. I don't know whether they'll help her or not, but let's just put it in. We're all open to ideas. Where were we? Yeah, this. Jamie. You played him the master, so yeah, I think the weird thing about Jamie is that he does well against certain matchups and then abysmal to a lot of other matchups, and I think he has more bad matchups than good. Is that why he's not doing well? Or is it just that some of his tools are janky? Like his breakdance to go under fireballs doesn't work, is not consistent. And his ODDP does you can be basically vertical jump it. Manon, I have no idea what to rework her fire MP target combo. Yeah, I don't know how to rework Manon, so I'm open to suggestions. Like that would be under normal, right? Not. What's wrong with the target combo? not consistent. Who anti I don't think Manon's issue is anti-airing people though, right? So I don't think that's really the problem you want to fix if you had to choose between other things. The Lily, yeah, you can go really crazy with the Lily possibilities because like there's just way too much to change for Lily. Strike's not as scary as Trovel problem. Hmm. He has very good pokes, but the pokes is very hard to convert it into a combo, right? And the combos have very bad damage. So yeah, I think that's a good idea, right? Give her more combo consistency. So you have to decide what uh yeah, they don't want to give Oki on grabs a lot, so I think what she needs is right, like you need something to counterbalance her throws, like throws in neutral, like walk up throw. Like you want walk up command grab to be a threat. So you need to be able to walk forward, and then you need to stop them from walking back. So you need a you because she doesn't have low forward drive rush. Normally that's the role of low forward drive rush. So yeah, so a way to walk forward and do a low into a combo, right? Do a fast low into a combo, a low that stops them from moving back. No, I don't see an issue with her current grabs. The grabs are fast enough and have decent range. I think a lot, but for grabs to be a threat, you need to have the opposite be a threat as well, right? What is so that you can like instead of to so that I'm not constantly constantly backdashing all the time. What is what is going to stop me from backdashing all the time as a person fighting Manon? Right? Is it a low forward drive rush? Low forward drive rush would be perfect because um, you just clip me trying to escape. And then a low forward drive rush is easy to hit confirm into a strike combo, right? Whereas other things I have to single hit confirm. But maybe it's giving her a can be single hit comms or combo routes, right? Yeah, I think that's one way to do it. If you're not going to give her a low forward drive rush, you can give her something like that. Actually, I have no idea what her low forward looks like. Is there a target combo out of this? Or do I always have to just jab combo? Yeah. Yeah, more consistent combos. Uh, is this a vacuum kick? On hit -2, yeah, this is stupid. Like why would I use this? Oh, for the target combo. I don't know enough about her to make changes about her, so I'm gonna leave this at that. Oh, this is another change for Jamie for Super Art 2. I think this would be a unique utility. I thought it was. I always thought the SA2 is a bit iffy, but this one would make it quite good. So if you didn't know, his Super R2 actually recovers 3 drive gauge bars if he's already at level 4 drinks. But what if you made it so that it just always does it on top of giving him full drinks? Recovered JP. Super other trooper. Oh, and throw loops. I think as a Marisa player, this is what I have been constantly having to put up with, is that I need to spend so much drive meter just to maintain throw loops. And since everyone's complaining about throw loops, yeah, why not just get the Marisa treatment that if you want to get your throw loop, you have to drive rush. Right? Because here's another thing you don't know is that throw loops are not just broken because I get the loop throwing you. It's broken because by the time I spend throwing you, I am regenerating drive gauge. Whereas as Marisa, I'm drive rushing in, I am losing drive gauge, and the drive meter recovery is paused. So I'm not regenerating drive gauge at all because it's paused after I use it. Whereas throw loops are broken because I am regenerating drive gauge. If throw loops did not regenerate drive gauge, by wasting time by throwing you in the throw animation, it will not be so broken. Because I noticed like some Ken players or Shoto players, they will just throw loop me, and I'm watching they spent like they play like maniacs. They spend like 5 drive gauge trying to mix me up, and they finally get a throw, and then before I know it, their drive gauge has recovered. But their drive meter management was so horrendous. They spent like five drive meters just to get in. But because they were just looping me in the corner, they regen everything. So they should spend drive rush in order to access throw loop, so that you don't regen drive rush. You don't regen drive gauge. No, I think throw loops are fine as long as you balance it by needing to go into burnout or needing to put yourself closer to burnout. Because then you have to then you use a bit of your brain, right? Okay, am I willing to sacrifice one for the other? Because I, as a character who needs to do this, sometimes I have just given up on taking the Oki and taking that throw loop, or taking that 50-50, because I've put myself too close to burnout for comfort. Like if I'm down to two drive bars, maybe I say, okay, I'm gonna end the throw loops. I'm not gonna continue the throw loops because it's not worth it. Yeah, maybe drive recovery starts later if you use it. This one, drive reversal, standing drive reversal frame data now matches wake up drive reversal frame data. Like what? It's just very confusing to have 2 different drive reversal frame data. Just have one and just make it faster so that it's more consistent. Yeah, maybe. Drive reversal shouldn't have so much. I have not had an issue punishing a drive reversal on block. Because let's say you 2 LP to punish it, then you 2 MP, you can still hit them a lot of times. Maybe the only character who drive reversal and I'm very far away is Dalsim. True. Oh, you mean like... Oh no, you mean on block. Huh? So yeah, that's all my balancing wish list. About 37, 36 of them. But I don't know What would you guys wish? Whose knees would Jamie pre-gaming is hilarious, yeah. Flash Kim's double cans? No, no, no. I think Capcom went to so much trouble giving her double cans. I don't think they're gonna. I don't think they're gonna can it. Pardon the pun. 3 bars of drive, huh? Yeah. Oh yeah, there are some characters who can just chip 3 bars of drive in the corner. What? JP, there's Akuma, there's DJ. You're gonna have to nerf those guys too then. I think Kim is by far the least offender of that because she needs to set up a few things, right? And her cans are not infinite. Like the Akuma into OD Fireball, OD Fireball, OD Fireball, OD Fireball. Oh, guess what? I've successfully burned you out. Same with my send HP, OD fan, looping into it again. I think we haven't nerfed Mai enough, but yeah, this is a start. Maybe it needs to be +4 startup if you really want to. Right, let's in between that. If you really want to nerf it. Right, then you should be able to react to some other versions of fan. Yeah, this would make it harder. Even would this break some of her combo routes and block strings? Maybe. So maybe at that. You break some of her block strings, I guess, but that's fine, right? She deserves that. Yeah. I don't think she deserves that combo. Give her some other combo in return. Yeah, just break it. 8 total extra recovery. Is that too harsh? Let's start with 6. I'll be happy with 6. And nerf her damage. So usually drive gauge damage is tied to your actual damage output. So if you nerf the damage here, it's also nerfing the drive gauge damage. I don't think, by the way, I don't think Capcom is gonna do all this damage nerf nonsense, but I just put it in. So yeah, Dalsim, I think it's hard to buff Dalsim. All these, there's many different ways. This character, I won't touch this tier of character because there's many different ways to just buff them. And you get the job done. Right? Many creative and unique ways you can go about it here. Lily, I know you were going crazy about it earlier. Also, many different ways you can do it. And Honda as well. Hot take, right? Give him low for a drive rush. By the way, anyone have any idea how strong Alex is gonna be? First impressions, I think he's gonna be somewhere around Aki strength. Yeah, Aki, I don't think it's Bison level. Maybe below Bison, maybe above Aki. Just first impressions, and I'm willing to pick him up. Oh my, it's already 12:40 here, and okay, I gotta call it a night because tomorrow I've got to spend the whole day driving. I'm going to visit my fiance's hometown. Going to visit her mom. So, thanks for sticking around. Oh, you have to do that today. All right, drive safe, man. All right, thanks, guys. Thanks for sticking around. Thanks for listening to me rant about JP and Ryu. Yeah, you have gone too. Oh yes, and happy Chinese New Year for those who are celebrating. Bye.
Loss became part of the routine, same passion, different mistakes. I learned to carry the weight, show up early and work till late. Teeth clenched, head down, repeat. No applause when I bleed. I didn't bend, I didn't break, I just stayed for grit's own sake.